All right, let's do this before I change my mind. It is 10:15, Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. So let's just fly through a few things as fast as we can. So, market opens a little bit weak, but I could tell in pre-market. I said it during a live space. I'm like, this price action, this downside, I can't take it seriously. It's not gonna last, right? I thought, maybe we'll be down 50 points, maybe 70 at the low on a stretch. I just kept saying over and over again, can't take it seriously. I just can't. The style of price action was telling me we were going to have another latter day recovery. And yeah, we even settled positive. I think my best guess was, as of the mid-afternoon, was I thought maybe we'd settle down 8 points, which would give us a reversal candle. Instead of that, we actually had a pretty spiky, in fact, very spiky, I only could call that a shooting star. I don't care what it is. It's a bullish candle. It's actually technically bullish engulfing because we settled up above yesterday's high. And note the spike, which is from just above the 10 MA. Note the spike, which was from just above the 10 MA. Again, look at this. Look at these two candles. Spiky, spiky. We're still going up. And there's the 200 day. 66.50. That's probably going to be another, I don't know, point or two higher tomorrow. So I guess I'll be driving on about 66.52 tomorrow morning. Momentum. Oh, look, it's been ticking up now for 5 days. No sign of a turn, right? No sign of a turn. I guess you could argue that there's been a slight deceleration in upside, but hey, tomorrow's going to be a higher candle, right? We're going up tomorrow. I don't know how much. I'm guessing we're going to probably be testing the 200 day tomorrow. So that's say it's a 52. That's what? Well, I should say it's a 50. That would be 34. 34 points or so up. That's nothing. That's easy. My issue will be, do we maybe settle above it? In which case, some people could start pushing for. We have two gaps here. I've got the 50 day, and we've got the upper Bollinger. Personally, I don't think we can get that high. I just think that's too much of a stretch. I really don't. I think we're going to get to the original target of a 200 day, and we're going to stall. Again, I'm going to highlight one of my favorite charts right now. This one. Again, every cycle is unique, but there are similarities from time to time. Literally last March, April, same kind of thing. Broke the 200 day, 9 day bounce, 5.1%. Got us to, and we had a stall from around the 200 day. Then we broke back down to tag the red gap, built a bear flag, and then we had a little semi-crash wave across 3 days. Again, every cycle's different. I'd also note momentum turned positive for a few days, and then started to roll over, and then when it went negative, this is a critical thing. When it went negative, actually, let me check. I want to make sure I get the right day. Yeah, it was that. It was the first day of the break of the bear flag. Momentum turned negative, which is when you had a massive drop. We dropped 16.4% across 10 days. Look at the volume, capitulation volume there. I guess you could say, actually, you know what the volume was there? That volume was quad op X. So, yeah, that's why that volume's up, quad op X, but this was the real capitulation here. That's what I'm looking for. Give me the 200 day, give me some cooling wave, give me a bear flag, and smack down. Yeah, it's interesting, I think. VIX. So VIX closed up 6.66%. Appropriate, I guess. Yesterday's black candle did not play out. Kind of unusual, but it happens. Today's candle is spiky from the 10 of May. I think tomorrow we have a chance. If we get down to the 50 day, I mean, for 200 day in the S&P, maybe we get down to 23s, 22s, maybe briefly. but nothing under 20. 20 is a massive support level now. VIX momentum is on the low. It actually ticked up a little bit today, but in theory, the VIX momentum will probably turn positive next week. Could be Monday. If there's a weekend event, then boom. What else? Let's fly through some individual charts before I change my mind. Apple was struggling on news of the foldable iPhone. It's not due until September of 27, but market was upset about it. Today's candle is very spiky from a 200-day, probably short term. Again, look at yesterday's candle was spiky from the 50-day, so we're very very tight price action. Volume was actually up a lot today. A lot of some big money sellers today. Momentum has started to tick down, prone to turning negative on either Friday or Monday. That's a problem. Let's fly through some of these. I really just don't have the time or the inclination. I'm sick of almost everybody and everything. Just trying to see if there's anything of note. That's Amazon's got a bullish engulfing candle. American Express. I mean, look, I was talking about this morning. Settled up 0.4, 307s. We have a gap at 320. This stock does support those people who believe the market's going to go to the 50-day. So if you're one of the 50-day people, American Express supports that notion, right? $13 up. That's 4 and a bit%. Clearly not this week. Maybe next week. I mean, again, next week, earnings are going to be coming out, starting with JP Morgan on Tuesday morning. But yeah, that's one bullish stock. Look at that one. Massive resistance, 50-day, 200-day, green gap. Again, no sign of a turn. So, I will say momentum is on the high side. There's no question about that, right? High side, high side, high side, all the way. Again, you want to be going long here. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. BlackRock down 0.1. That is a reversal candle. That is bullish for Wednesday. Blackstone up 0.4. Net bullish for Wednesday. Chop. Don't care. By the way, most of these charts have multi-week bear flags. There's one there, and there's another one. Good luck to people buying Cleveland Cliffs. There's a little baby bull flag in Disney. You can maybe get up to $100, maybe. It wouldn't be long. Again, what is that? What is that? You know what it is. It's a multi-week bear flag from around the 200-day. In theory, it's so big. You think extrapolate down to what? $5? That's about 45% down. Good luck to the mining rules. You're gonna need it. In fact, you're gonna need more than luck. You're gonna need divine intervention from multiple gods. The Google or Alphabet, yeah, kind of reflective of the main market, set to challenge the 50-day tomorrow. Not great day for Home Depot. A new multi-month low. In fact, yeah, look at this. It's not good, right? Target is 250. Again, you know what that is. That's a multi-week bear flag. Intel, crazy strong, 4.2. That's wild. JP Morgan up 0.7%. Today's candle is bullish engulfing, short-term bullish. We are facing, I should drag that little green gap a bit further to the left, to the right rather, because we're probably gonna tag that again tomorrow. Maybe we'll even fill it tomorrow. But yeah, big resistance. KKR, which of course is one of my prime short targets, down zero point 0.3. Today's candle is a hollow red reversal, bullish for Wednesday. Target would be green gap. So I want to be shorting from here tomorrow, and then hold it into next week, preferably on Monday. Bam! You can see a break of trend. I mean, look, it's clear the break. It's a very clean multi-week bear flag, and yeah. I think a reshort from 92, 90. I mean, anywhere much above 91, 92 is fine with me. But yep, bearish KK up. Again, not the Wednesday open. It should be up, but I'll be looking for a reversal. Don't care about these. There's a reversal counter on Microsoft. Bullish, at least for Wednesday morning. Netflix, yesterday's black candle played out. It's only down 0.1, but it did play out. Oh, look at that. Horrible. Another multi-year low in Nike. Just again, like over the years, I always say, on a big earnings gap down, it typically takes 3 weeks for a stock to floor, right? People don't learn. They just don't. They don't want to. They don't want to hear it. They don't want. They don't want to learn new things. The average person. This is a real profound point, but I'm not wrong in this. The average person doesn't want to learn anything new once they get past the age of, actually, from almost any age, actually. Very few people actually want to learn stuff. They just don't. Or either they can't learn or they just don't want to learn. I'd say most don't want to learn. And they don't want to learn. They're still buying Nikes. It's got to go down. Again, it's got to get kicked out of a Dow later this year. That's a given. Easiest prediction in the world right now. Nvidia up a little bit, but broadly chopped. Don't care about that. That's a multi-week bear flag. It's a bit long now. Palantir up 1.5%. Today's candle's bullish engulfing. Don't care about that stock. It's dead. The red cat down 7%. That's not great, but again, the concern should be if the main market gets whacked, sevens. Yeah. Rocket Lab down 2%. Look at this. Look at that. SMR down another 9.9% today in 916. I mean, if we pull this chart out a bit, let's go at 3 years. Now look at this. Think about this. It's 916 and the S&P is around what? 6616. I mean, look, we're below the April low when the S&P was 4835. What's the next support? Let's just call it sevens, right? From September of 24. What's under 7? I mean, there really isn't much. I mean, you got 180 here. There you go. Look, peak hysteria, peak AI bubble. And of course, the nuclear stocks traded with the AI bubble, and they're done. Look at the collapse. They tried to bounce it here, failed, bounce, failed again. It's just horrible. And this is with the S&P at 6616. What do you think is going to happen if S&P is under 6,000? It's easily going to be sevens, right? That's an easy call. And Oklo and NNE look much the same. Target, that is a bearish engulfing candle. For Tesla, not pretty, right? I guess you can say I'll drag that gap across because it is officially it's filled. Took a while to do it, right? But today it's filled the gap 348 to 338. And it goes back to September. Again, under this gap, I mean, it really isn't much. You could say these lows, but there's nothing of significance here. I guess you could say 271, 273. Now look at the April low, 222. And also, Tesla is going to get a death cross uh, probably tomorrow. Yep, not pretty. United Airlines, my primary airline target short, down 1.8%. Today's candle is, it's actually a reversal. So I had to check the open to the close. So we did close above the open, so that's a reversal candle, leans bullish. And we do have there's a teeny little gap. I haven't marked it, but it's a gap to around 94, 95. That looks a real stretch. That doesn't look realistic tomorrow. I mean, maybe we can get up to maybe 10 MA, which is 91s. So maybe we can get 91s tomorrow briefly. But all of this is a bearish flag pennant. My target would be $70. Clearly, if it goes under 84, you'll see it spiral. Don't care about that. Oh yeah, United Health up 9.4%. I will say today's candle is a black doji at the 200 day. The smart money is arguably selling into the bounce or into the jump. I mean, it was going up for a few days anyway. Of course, going up with the main market. But yeah, that's a black doji. That is a short-term bearish. Also, look at that black candle played out. We had this was a this little thing was this was a I was like this was a false breakout. You know what happened here? What was this? You know what that was, right? That was Trump. Trump. It was some comment about the insurers and Medicare payments. Yep, whacked the stock back to the orange gap, flatlining, and now we're up on the notion that Medicare payments to insurers might go up by 2.48% next year. But the stock's a broad chop fest. Not good, is it? UPS up a touch, short-term bullish. Exxon up 0.3. That's probably that is a black candle. Short-term bearish Exxon, if only for a few days, a few hours, or tomorrow. Let's jump to gold, silver. Actually, well, I'm not even going to care about commodity gold. I like following GOD, especially on a close-up map, close-up chart. I mean, look, that's a kind of a hammer candle, leans bullish. Maybe it's a green gap tomorrow. Maybe Friday. I mean, look, momentum's positive for maybe a few more days, but all of this is just bearish. You see the pennant there broke up woods, and this one broke down. So you have great examples, two great examples. As a bullish pennant that broke up, bullish pennant that actually failed. And note that the failures usually occur around 75% within the pennant. That's just it's textbook. Again, they don't always play out. This one didn't. Silver, or SLV, a real mess. Um, that's a reversal candle, leans bullish for tomorrow, but there's a little gap there. Maybe it'll just fill that. And finally, oil. So commodity oil officially settled down 45 cents, point 0.4. Today's candle is distinctly spiky. We got some spiky candles around here, of course. Massive resistance. I mean, we're still printing high highs, high lows. And I will say, yesterday's candle was black, and it did play out. We closed down. That's interesting. Momentum is on the moderately high side. We can go up a long way, but the risk is we do get some cooling for a few days. Looking at USO on a daily, today's candle is officially bearish engulfing. So that's a new historic high for USO. But or it's because of the way that the candles are done by stock charts. But anyway, technically that's a new historic high for USO, even though oil did not print a new historic high. Bearish engulfing candle, bearish for Wednesday. Momentum is on the moderately high side, could weaken for a day or two. I mean, in terms of a long side entry, it's not great, right? If you wanted to go long oil, you would have done it there or there. Look at an hourly chart. Oh, I didn't notice that. So it was like a whoa. Okay, that's got to be a false print. That's interesting. So yeah, you can see oil officially settled. Well, ESO settled 1.6, but we had a flash print. So if I go to a 5-minute chart, see if it's even on there. So it is on a 15-minute chart. That's interesting. We had a floor from the 200 MA on the 15. On a 5-minute. Look, there it is. We had a print at 130. That is interesting. So yeah, I would be open. Also, see the 130 print is where we were last Tuesday. Hmm. Sometimes the market will spike down. I call them flash prints. Some people call them false prints. I mean, it's a real print. Hasn't the exchange hasn't removed it? It happened. You got to wonder. We, we had an $8 intraday drop, and did anybody stops get triggered there? Anyway, what else is there? I don't know. Bonds. Nobody cares about bonds except me. So look, I'm gonna end with this. And yeah, by the way, all these 6 gaps never got filled. They should eventually. So look, 5 days up, 200 a day, 66.50. It's gonna be point or two higher tomorrow morning. Upper resistance is continued. These two walls of resistance, the 50-day and the upper Bollinger, they're coming down. It's gonna be a brick. I don't see how we can go above. Uh, I mean, technically we could go up there. In theory, the market is allowing it. Of course, there's 2 gaps here as well. So I'm worried. My concern is I go short tomorrow from 66.50 and the market keeps going up to maybe either purple gap, teal gap, or the 50-day. So I could be 100. If I go short, I could be 100. I'm risking. The risk is I'm 100 points underwater here. But even if we do that, I would still look for a red gap subsequently. That's minimum target here. So the risk reward isn't that bad. In fact, it's pretty good. Because of course, if I'm right and we do stall around here, then I've nailed a short-term top and we go down again next week. If I'm wrong, I got some pain from there until around here. But on no basis do I see the market holding sustainably above 6,700. In fact, I'm gonna highlight it here. Why not right now? Why wouldn't I do it? I can do whatever I want to do. Look at this. Look at this. Weekly chart. 10 of May. 6,700. In theory, we should not go above that. That is telling me I can short tomorrow around 66.50 if we get there, and that the 50-day will not be hit, and it's just too high up. In that cycle, you see the initial drop, then we had a bear flag, bear flag there, and we stalled not we didn't get anywhere near the Tenor in that particular week. So we're kind of yeah, where we really shouldn't go much higher. Another another 30, 40 points tomorrow, and that should be it. And then next week, in theory, is that candle. Something like that. Of course, if we're here, what are we looking at? I mean, what's that there? That's a 50% fib at 59.18. And that's a long way down, right? That's 700 points. That's 10, 11%. And there's a lot of support around the 5700 area with the 61% fib, which is also where there's a truckload of gaps around. You can even see the gaps on the weekly chart, which is unusual. You don't normally see them. But yeah, in theory, what we got here is something like that. So either we stall under the 10 MA on a weekly, or we keep going. But even then, I would still think we're going to stall no higher than the 50-day around 67.70 ish. But I think we stall tomorrow around the 200-day. If I'm right, I'm going to look pretty good, pretty smart. I'm also I'll have a hell of a good trade. If I'm wrong, I'm going to have a rough few days into next week. As ever, we'll take one day at a time. We'll see what happens. We will see. And I said it yesterday. And I said, I'm trying to keep it in mind every day. Watch the style of price action. This morning was pretty clear. I said it, I saw it at the beginning. I'm like, this downside is weak. It's embarrassingly weak. And yeah, even though we were down 70 points at the low or so, it doesn't matter. It's like we were still likely to go up. I mean, even I'm surprised that we would turn positive, but not that it particularly matters either way. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting things going on right now. Either we're going to stall, and I know some people out there think we're just going to keep pushing to a new historic high, which to me is lunacy. I guess some people would ironically say that, you know, again, on here you can even see, look at this, the 10 MA on the monthly, 66.90, right? Is it 90 or 98? I can't read it. 66.98 is for 10 MA. So again, 6,700. It keeps coming up. Keeps coming up. We should not go above that number. We should stall from maybe around somewhere around where we currently are and roll over and get to SmackDown. And my minimum target is 5,700, which is 900 points down. That's a long way, right? That's 14%. So we'll leave it there. Let's just see. I'm guessing again for the record. I've said this already today, but for the record, I expect a quiet night. And if I'm wrong, well, I'm not long. If I'm right, though, the market will probably bounce early tomorrow on hopes of almost like a relief bounce on the notion that hey, nothing happened overnight. S&P should be up 30, 40 points or so. But again, broadly, in my view, that would be a shortable setup from a 200-day. Anyway, without repeating myself, I wish you a quiet and peaceful night. Good night.